all of this affect the bars, the angles, the measurements? How does all that really affect the performance of the horse? Because she has, to me, this would be her challenge, is to fit this long taper from the top of the wither to where it ties into the back. That's a pretty long distance there, and is the tree going to be able to accommodate that and still fit over? See that shoulder blade? That's about the top of that shoulder blade right there. So that shoulder blade is going to have to come back up under that saddle when she's really running. And so when we put the special up there, which is what the special was originally designed for this, except our even our more thoroughbred horses have gotten broader as well. We don't have the real thin kind of A-shaped frame front end. We've got a lot more muscling, but the special it's not all that bad. But to me, you know, I would like to see a little bit more, like it's tight right in there, and that's right where that shoulder blade has really got to run up under that. Now the gullet here is 6 inches, and you can see, even though it's not as wide as some of them, it's still sitting down the gullet pretty close to that wither, top of that wither. You know, and it's not bad, but if I could do better, I would like to do her better, because the horses today, they really talk about when they're uncomfortable. This is the wide tree, which I had been riding on her. She's been here a little while, so she's not been very patient. Which, I mean, that's not bad, but because of the width, we're still down pretty low, and we don't think about saddles being tight up in here. When it gets low here, a lot of times they'll be pinched right up in that portion of the bar, even though this doesn't look all that bad. And then our new tree. I mean, we've got a lot more clearance, got a lot more ability for that shoulder blade to run, and especially if you have a horse that has a big muscle or a layer of muscle over that shoulder blade. Some of them are just almost protruding. There's so much muscle there. And then the bar itself has great ability to make contact with the horse. See, we got this is thicker and longer, so we're then the special or the wide. You see what a little piece we have to work with there to try to flare that. And so this is longer and it's thicker, so that we can kind of shave off some of that underneath in order for the shoulder blade to run up under there. And then when it comes out here across her broad loin area, we have good contact. Everything's, you know, not on an edge. It's all flat. We're making good contact all the way down through those bars. And so she's not hard to fit. But I really believe the backs are changing, and we're getting into a time where we have, it might look like a thoroughbred, but it's wide like a quarter horse. Naomi is Oklahoma Fuel and Beduino, so she is not short of a lot of running blood, and she's wide. She's got a big barrel and a big loin. So, but I have another horse that's short and wide, and let's look at him. Well, this is our little guy, and it's funny how sometimes the littler they are, the wider they are, but he is in that range of being wide, and he doesn't have a lot of drop in his wither, so that is kind of part of that goes with that being wide. It's not a big taper from the top of the wither, a long one, but not a dramatic drop. And then if you can see that little shoulder blade right there, it's pretty pronounced, and it'd be easy for the saddle to slip back and get in behind that shoulder blade and really give this little guy some grief. And you know, he's very willing on the pattern, got lots of talent, quick. Oh my. We're hoping he's got a lot of real quick speed, which we'll only know that when we really get to hauling him. But so far he's being a very good student, but the thing that would deter him, if you would, from being that good student is to get sore up here in the back. So his big issues are going to be those big shoulders, even though he's not very big. So this is the special. Just kind of let you see, you know, not bad. The right saddle pad could probably help it, but it's kind of wanting to sit down on the edge, be just a tad snug in through those shoulders. You know, we talked about that overlapping of those. Well, you'll see it on the next DVD or the next video that you get. But anyway, not awful, but we can still help him when we come to the Nueva tree. It's kind of the middle of the road tree. It's made for that middle-sized back. You know, it's not really bad until we get back in here, and then it really opens up and would really, I think this thing could really rock, because there's a big opening right under the edges of the bars on the inside. And he's very flat back there. He doesn't kind of go up. That would help this one fit better. He's just wide and flat. And this is more like the old quarter horse, which that's why we did the wide tree, was to get into that range. And so the wide tree, we've got room here for the shoulder blade. Come on, Clinty. Here we go. And so when we're really looking at this tree, I mean, you can just tell when they fit. You can just kind of tell that they fit. But actually seeing the tree on the back is a really big help to me when we're trying to decide which tree. It just paints a more clear picture. And some horses are more horses of jeopardy situations. You know, used to, you could take that old quarter horse and just cut him up and chop him up, and he'd just run anyway. And nowadays you go pinch and they go, ow, that hurts. Oh, ow, that hurts. And we can tell because the veterinarians are making a lot of money off of us. And when we start really fitting the backs and their weight distribution and their weight carriage and everything about them is just more comfortable. You get the rider in the correct place. Listen, even the correct length of stirrup is a big help. The correct length of rein. It sounds very simple, but it's all part of that basic package that we have to come with in order to help little guys like Clinty be his best in the arena that he can be. Well, you know, sometimes people go, well, I still don't really know and understand how to fit my horses correctly, Lynn, but pictures. If we could have pictures, a good side view, you know, from about halfway up their neck through the end of their body there, so we can really kind of see this taper, how big it is or how long it might be, and for you to go around and stand at the tail and you know, shoot at least half of their back and their shoulders and half of their neck, the part that the saddle fits on and part of that neck. It would probably help us to look at your pictures and maybe decide, maybe help you with your tree and which one you felt like that you wanted to order. Because when people tell me, Lynn, I want to get better, I want to be a better rider, a better competitor, then I tell them all the time, this sounds crazy, but for you to get better, you're going to have to upgrade how you think. You're going to have to think better. Your care program in the barn, take care of your horses better, and to take better care of your tack, and upgrade. If you don't have good tack, upgrade to get good tack. That's really the initial start of someone really trying to get better. They're willing to invest in themselves. And there's a whole lesson in that. Well, we've hoped you've enjoyed our saddle fitting, back learning demonstration. You know, we love to learn. We were all about just doing better all the time. So if you have questions, you call us, email us, send us pictures, whatever we can do to help you be better, that's what we want to do.